You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we really appreciate you joining us today. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot here on our list. Guys, you might want to sit down when we bring this study up. You're going to want to be sitting when I tell you this. And then for ladies, apparently they're a little bit shy. We'll tell you why they're shy. And we're also going to talk about a study they did where women don't want to do it in the light. They like to do it in the dark. It's a study about that. And then we'll come back after a break. We'll talk about, Terry, this would be interesting. This lady tied the knot, got married for $500. I'll tell you how she did that. And if you want to check and see if you had COVID, all you got to do is cough in your phone. That's coming. And then 4 things you might not have known yesterday. That's all coming up.
She was that desperate for money, $500 she'd get married for?
That's her wedding was $500 altogether.
Oh.
They got married for $500.
I thought someone gave her $500. She actually got everything done for $500, and we'll tell you. Oh, wow.
We'll go through that. I'll explain how she did it. And it was, I'm not sure a lot of people would go for it, but that's
might be able to save a few bucks anyhow.
Yeah. Well, it's just how. It was kind of an interesting concept how she came up with it. We'll talk about that. Also, let's just start right at the beginning. Guys, including myself, you might think that, you might think you're amazing in bed. But apparently the research is in. And if you're not sitting, you're going to want to sit down. The truth is, we're not that amazing in bed. It said that, in fact, when she's yawning, when she goes wild for you during the heat of passion, if that happens, if you're lucky to move the earth for her, and when she makes tons of noise, it means she's faking it. 66% of women say those noises are just to speed you along so they can either boost your self-esteem or you can go to bed and go to sleep.
Get finished and roll over.
Yeah, roll over and go to sleep. Isn't that interesting, Tara? Makes me feel really good about myself. I always wondered, well, now I know. You have nothing to say, huh? So that must be true. Were you in that survey? You've got nothing to say?
Probably
nothing at all?
Probably once in a while.
Once in a blue moon, yeah. All that. What was that movie? When Harry Met Sally?
Yeah,
she does
it in the restaurant. She makes all the noises. You don't think anyone can fake that? And then everyone else will, I'll have one.
I'll have what she's having. So, yeah, guys, we're not that great. So when she's making a lot of noise, try to, I guess, so you don't go limp, you're going to want to just pretend like, she really is getting it. Mm-hmm. That'll be better than the
alternative.
The alternative, yeah, for sure. So then, ladies, they did a study, and it really revealed something I thought was interesting, and that is a lot of women are not comfortable in the nude around their husband, around their own husbands. They're not comfortable. According to the study.
I don't understand that. Once you've been in delivery with me, you've seen it all, even parts I haven't seen.
Isn't that strange?
It's gross. Yeah. I know the first time you were in the wrong place and they gave me a episiotomy, you went white as a ghost. I thought you were going to pass out.
Well, yeah, it's not exactly what you...
Once you've seen that, you might as well see it all.
Well, when you're in the position you were in to have a baby, let's be honest, you got all these people coming in and out constantly, giving you the finger, if you know what I mean, to check to make sure you're about ready to pop. Who cares at that point, right? But it's interesting that they say that the women just aren't comfortable in the nude. According to the study, 1 out of 3 say no to their birthday suit if their partner is in the room. 79% admitted to reservations about showering or changing in front of other women in a locker room, which I would think, okay, well, let's go to men and we'll come back to that. For men, being naked isn't a big deal. Well, we all know
Didn't
that.
you hate it at gym class? When
no, I'm just saying, gym, no, I'm not talking gym just yet because I'm not shy around you. I haven't been since we were dating. According to the survey, guys are strutting around naked almost twice as much as their female counterparts in any given day. Now, I will go back to the part with a locker room. For me, I just was not even, first of all, I don't need to know, I have enough problems. I don't need to know how bad, how well I'm endowed from somebody else.
His teams like to shower together or whatever. Like,
you like showering together?
Yeah. I don't know. That wasn't in our day in middle school and high school. It was like you got in and got out as fast as you could. Like,
sometimes I don't even know if I really did shower, or I put the towel on and the towel got wet too, and you come out of the room. I'm just very uncomfortable in that situation. As far as being with you, I'm flopping around as much as I can, and it doesn't work. It's not like it turns you on. Yeah, you'd laugh. Yeah, you're laughing now because I think you were laughing then, which makes you self-confident. Maybe I should cover myself up. Would you have some reservations about a locker room? Would you not want to do that? I mean, it doesn't bother you.
I don't really care anymore.
It doesn't.
Like when I was in school,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. I figure.
Yeah, I don't make any eye contact. If I was in a locker room, I would not be making any eye contact anyway, right? Yeah. But I don't do that. Since COVID. At our
age now, you don't have to worry about what they see, what's sagging.
Oh, God, for crying out loud, ain't that the truth? A lot of sagging going on. But with COVID, I don't know that a lot of people are going back to the gym. They're maybe just going home. I don't know if a lot of gyms even have showers. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe certain ones do. We've have our own little gym downstairs. And yep. And it's, and we shower together. That's, a lot of our kids' friends thought it was cool that we showered together.
And the neighbor kids.
Yeah, we didn't do it while they were in I just want to make that clear. It wasn't like they were in we just, for some reason they knew that we.
Well, because we were getting ready for a wedding or something. And we got in the shower together, and the neighbors, I think Billy Joe was here or something.
Yeah.
My niece was here, and she said, "Oh, no, they're in the shower." And the neighbor said, "Together?" And she said, "Yeah, why?" And they said, "Oh, cool." They thought that was.
Yeah, they thought that was neat.
I think it was a time saver at that point because we had 3 kids and us and 1 bathroom.
Well, think about it. It's not only just time saver, but it's also water, hot water. You want to make sure.
We both got that.
We both had hot water.
Our hair with still having hot water. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you have 3 kids, that was the main thing.
She was with us, so there was 4 at least that day in the house. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was. There's. Listen. Let's just be honest. Let's just lay it on the table. Because when you have young kids, it's hard to find time to get together. So if you got to find ways to be creative, not that, I don't know, the shower thing was just, it's a little uncomfortable probably, but.
Whatever works.
Exactly. Whatever works. A little cramped in there, but hey, people do it on an airplane. What do they call that? The Mile High Club?
That's gross.
In the bathroom in the airplane. So anyway, so that's our way of getting together at that time was just meeting in the bathroom. Wink, wink. Anyway, okay. So, so here's a question for you. It's time for bed. Are you getting under the covers naked or with some clothes on?
Depends on how cold it is.
Yeah, well, you're always cold. You'd probably wear a parka.
But I still go to bed naked.
Yeah, at times. And I have lately. I don't know why. I
used to in the winter.
We'd have
VDJs
sweats. Yeah. Sweat clothes on.
But
Are we getting older? Or are we
Since
just
I
getting our
got-
bodies
no,
changing?
yeah, I know mine is. Night sweat started in my 30s,
mean,
so
It's just, I don't know. It's just everything's changing. You know, you got aches and pains, and you know your sleep habits. I don't have good sleep habits anyway, so it really doesn't matter. My sleep habits are really bad.
yeah. Last night you woke me up to tell me the power was out at 2 or 2:30, something like that.
It was 4. It was 4 o'clock because at 2 o'clock I was up,
Oh, well,
for my
I
third
heard you
pee.
that.
and then at 4 I looked over and I knew how dark it was. I mean, it was really dark in the room. Looking for the clock, I'm like, "Where's the clock?" And it was 4 o'clock. And I just threw off my whole morning. I didn't get the exercise. It just threw me completely in a different. I don't know. I kind of miss not riding the bike if I don't,
They
and I
said
didn't have
a
time
lot
to
of
do it.
Washington was out of power.
Oh, really?
hmm
So we weren't the only ones then that were out. Was out of. I mean, yeah, it was just weird because at 2 o'clock, between 2 and 4, something must have happened. No one said why. That you know of.
No, the one principal at school said that she was on Washington Says or whatever, one of those little chat things, and someone said they saw sparks someplace, like a transformer went out or something.
Okay.
But then she said, "You don't know about these people. They're all saying different stuff, you know."
Well, yeah, you don't know what to believe half the
Yeah.
time anyway. That's for sure. But yeah, that just, I don't know. I just threw off my whole morning because I was running late and then
I've been running late every day this week. I have not gotten all my exercises and strengtheners and stretches and everything done every day, any day this week.
yeah. Well, I know this is going this actual podcast is going to come out a little bit later, but we did celebrate our 37th wedding anniversary on April 20th, and you know, I was trying to think because I saw this too. I'll get to this lovemaking thing in a minute, but getting on the subject of our first date, because we were talking about places, and I had asked if they remember where Dairy Queen used to be. Is that considered a date? Do you think that night we were at Dairy Queen?
Yeah, we went to Dairy Queen. Was that before?
I was trying to think. What was that,
Was that
after
before
the
or after the
football
homecoming?
game?
I don't know.
I somehow I was thinking that was.
It might have been one day after work.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think.
We went to Dairy Queen. We were out way too late because your
Yeah.
dad went looking for you.
Yeah, I wasn't far from home, but
He thought maybe you drove me to Claysville. Did he?
Yeah, I think he did,
I think
yeah.
he drove all the way
Yeah.
to Claysville.
we didn't have
back.
phones.
I know.
We didn't have phones back
I
then. You
know,
couldn't
and-
say anything.
And you couldn't even, call or text him and say, "Hey, we're just getting an ice cream and then I'll be home." And so he thought maybe you took me all the way home. And
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I saw this story. A woman says that a man she met on Hinge, I don't know, it must be
one
some
of
kind
those
of dating
dating
site.
sites.
I don't know, never heard of it. Took her to Target on their first date. Her name is Amber. She's a TikToker. That's how you find out this stuff. And she posted a video of her car in the parking lot of Target. And she said a guy asked her to meet him there. And this is where he wanted to go. She said, "So I'm here." Some people like the idea. Some people thought that Target is a great first date because, and I was thinking about that. If the date doesn't go well and you had things you needed to get there, you could get your
finish
stuff
your
in,
shopping.
and then have your shopping done. But also on the other part of that though, maybe is you if you both could get to know each other because you're going through all the different sections of Target. What do they like?
What do they not
What they
like?
don't like, food wise, because you could say, well,
Yeah, you can kind of test them out, see if you want another date, if you want to be alone with them. Also, it's public enough that they're not going to try anything with you.
yeah. I mean, exactly. I think it would be like a safe zone. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
I would think so because there's lots of people around.
One person said it was the best date she ever had was when they took her to Target for a date, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing, especially in this day and age where you get so many weirdos you're meeting online.
Yeah.
You don't know them from Adam.
Yep.
You want them to come to your house and then they know where you live. You know what I mean?
No, it'd have to
wouldn't-
be in a public place.
Yeah, it would have to be a public
Yeah,
place
for sure.
to meet them, especially if I've been talking to them online.
But the Target thing seems kind of
You don't know
different.
if their pictures are true. You don't know if they're,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
I mean, look at people steal people's whole identity on Facebook.
Yep.
Remember Lexus, our
Yeah.
daughter-in-law? They took all her pictures, even of her dog and her husband and everything.
Yeah.
And posted them like it was her. She just got married, and she just,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
it
ghosted
was
her.
weird. It was
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
That was strange, but yeah, if you guys are looking to go on a date, I guess Target might be the way to go. But our first date was I don't know if you can consider Dairy
It was
Queen a first
Dairy
date.
Queen, and then we went to the
Football game. Yeah, for the homecoming.
And that was really supposed to be a group of us, and everyone else knew we liked each other and kind of dropped out, and it ended up being me and you.
Yeah, that's true. We met over.
So he never really asked me out on a first date.
Well, I think I did. I'd ask if you wanted. How do you say I didn't ask? I thought I did ask.
Because a group of us from
Yeah, but that
from
wasn't.
the grocery store decided we were going to go to the football game, the homecoming,
I thought
and
I have
and
a
everyone
different.
else kind of backed out.
I have a different recollection of that because I thought I went through your aisle and I bought something. And I said, hey, my cousin
you
was up
said-
for homecoming
and
queen.
you-
Would you like to go?
And you said you would pick me up, and that's when everyone else was like, okay.
Well, what's the difference if I pick you up or right?
Well,
do you mean
yeah,
that you think
but-
that stopped everybody else from going? I don't know.
Well, I
Anyway.
don't know.
But we met actually at Foodland. That's where we both worked there. She worked there longer than I did. You were already, I don't know how long you were there before I started.
A year or so.
Yeah. So that's how we met. We met in Foodland, and my dad went in to see who I was, talking to and on the phone and so on and so forth. And he thought, oh, yeah, you married up. Terry married up. I married up. That's for sure. Yeah, you didn't marry up. I married up. You kind of.
I don't get that policy, but whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's how we met. And so I
Looks are only skin deep, but ugliness can go clean through.
all the way to the bone.
Oh, again.
Yeah, ain't that the
Haven't
truth?
you met someone that's really nice and you think, I don't ever want to see you again because they're so nasty?
Yeah, that's true. That's an unfortunate part, but you're right. That is very, very true. But anyway, that's so our anniversary, 37 years, and it's gone
Sometimes
fast.
it feels like it was yesterday,
Yeah.
and other times it feels like it was a lifetime ago.
But we didn't have this weather. The weather we had on our wedding day was 85. It was sun. I remember calling you.
I was doing my nails,
You were
laying in the sun.
laying in the sun. You
I
were
was
getting a suntan.
sunbathed, and I got color for my wedding.
It was it was absolutely beautiful. Not that the weather we're having now is just, yeah, that groundhog should be shot because it's 6. He said 6 more weeks of winter. I think is it not longer now?
It seems like it,
Oh.
and it seems like it's still winter, not like, I don't know.
But yeah, it's also 420 is also Weed Day.
Yes,
Yeah.
our kids brought that to attention.
I had no idea it was
when they
Weed
were
Day.
about in middle school. They asked us why we got married on Weed Day.
Weed
And
Day,
I said, I
yeah.
don't know if it was a thing back then, and if it was, we did not consider that.
No, we did not get high and then get married. Just didn't happen. But yeah, it's easy to remember
Although
now.
we
Though.
were so young, a lot of people would think
We were young.
we were nuts.
Well, I was 21.
Yeah.
No,
You
20.
were 19 and I was 20 when we actually got married. We were 20 and 21 when we had RJ.
No, because we got married in 85, so I'd have been 20.
Not until June. We got married in April.
All right, well, a couple months.
July.
All right.
June, July. Your birthday's July.
Maybe I was high. Maybe you did get me. I didn't realize it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what happened now.
Yeah, right.
No, it's been a,
You knew what you were getting into.
I knew what I was getting. And I'm happy for it. It's been a great 37 years.
You'd met all your brothers and sisters-in-law, and you didn't run. So.
I didn't run. No, did not run. And like I said, it's been a great 37 years.
Never forget was it that homecoming dance or the next time you came to my house that Gary answered the door and Janet was sleeping on the couch?
You know what? I think I'm trying to remember. I remember going to the house. Janet was on the couch sleeping. Your mom was doing
Gary
dishes.
was
I don't think your dad was
cigarette.
not home. Your dad was not
Gary
there.
was smoking his cigarette. And
He's the one that came to the door. Grizzly Adams. I mean, he had the
he
big
had a
beard,
and
long hair. I was trying to remember why I was there. I know I had done a dry run because I didn't know how to get to your house. And I thought I missed it because Claysville was I'd never been to Claysville. That's how sad my life is. But I'd never been to Claysville at that point. And
we were outside of Clay.
And I didn't realize
We were
how
right
you
in
blink
town.
and Claysville's gone.
Oh, yes.
And then you're like, because I think I went
Because we were
40
past. Yeah, we were
I went
past
40.
it.
and went that way.
And we
get
were
down
on
to the bottom of the hill
40, and we were on Old 40.
Right. And then you need to make the left there at that gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And then the highway's all, right in there. But I think I was doing a dry run. I actually think I did it before, and then I don't know why.
Yeah, now you just put the address in your GPS and
Oh, yeah,
in
you
your
can
phone
find-
and you find anything.
You can find anybody's house now. You don't have to give them directions, say,
Yeah, people that are young will not understand this conversation at all.
reading a map. They'll never know how to read a map. They just won't know.
Yeah, because it says turn in 500 feet, turn right.
There was, I should try and find it. That could be our next podcast. You just gave me an idea because there were some things that we would say, like back in the day that we did, that they wouldn't understand what that is. And like my dad
Like
and my
fighting
mom.
over the telephone?
Yes. Yeah, only having.
Me and my sister used to fight over who could have the telephone and my mom used to put a 20-minute timer on. You had to get off and let the other person talk.
Yeah. What was I forgot what I was going to say now. You said telephone. Yeah. And then computer, you only had like one. If you were on, you had to kick, somebody had to get, or the phone line wouldn't work.
Right.
You
When
know,
you were on the computer.
Oh, I know what it was. It was, we didn't have cell phones because, so my dad didn't know or mom didn't know where I was at because we didn't call. We didn't have, unless you went to a payphone, and those were, kids, there were payphones. Every so often there'd be a booth where Superman used to get undressed and then dressed into
And you
his
had to
costume
Put coins in it and call home.
and call home a dime. Then
And
it
if
went
you
up.
got a flat tire, you walked to the next. If you were on the highway, you walked to the next exit and prayed there was a payphone right there,
Yeah.
so that you wouldn't have to walk any further.
That's the truth. There's a lot of things that kids today.
Remember, I got a flat tire on the highway on the way to work,
Yep.
and I got in with the trucker, and the girls at the bank just thought I was whore. I said, well, I'd rather get in with he's on a schedule than with some weirdo in a car. It was pouring down rain, and he said, he stopped. He said, I'd have fits if my wife was walking in the rain, and so he pulled right in because I worked at the mall at the bank.
And again, no phone. You're in the middle of the highway.
And I had no way to tell anyone, so he dropped me right at work. He asked me where I was going and dropped me right at work. And so a semi pulls up to the bank, and I get out, and the girls at work were like, I can't believe you. And I'm like, well, my car's sitting on the highway. I need to call my dad to go get it.
That's a heck of a taxi, a big,
Yeah.
giant 18-wheeler
Yep.
bringing you to work.
It was an interesting trip. He told me about his wife and kids, and he probably broke up his monotony of his drive.
Yeah,
So.
something different. He was on his way. It wasn't like he's going out of his
Yeah,
way.
he didn't even have to just get off the exit and drop me off and got right back on. So,
But yeah, I mean, those are things that, I mean, if you're gonna look at cell phones, then that's a plus, right? Because your
yeah.
kids, well, you can track your kids now because of
can track
location
them,
service
yes.
and stuff. But just this, I'm
and
not
you
looking
never
at.
have to get in with a stranger.
Well, you don't, because you can call AAA. You can call everybody and say, hey, listen, I'm broke down. You couldn't do that. Like you said, didn't you and your mom and sister break down or something on the highway?
Oh yeah,
You were
on
all
the
in
way to
dresses?
Michigan, we had a flat tire.
On your way to Michigan.
And we all had sundresses on. It was in the middle of the summer, and we were trying to hold our dresses down as the cars went by and put the jack up the tire and change the tire. And a guy in a car, like a businessman that had like suits in his car, like a salesman or something, told us, get in that car, and I would have fits, and he actually changed the tire for us because, we were trying to hold each other's skirts down while we were trying to.
and the cars are going faster to get the wind to blow them up in the air. That's what and why are they going so fast? Well, I know why.
He
surprised you
thought
guys
we
didn't-
were making a scene, probably.
Yeah, surprised you didn't cause a major accident on the highway with your dress all like Marilyn Monroe and
Hey,
over
that's
that
the way
grate.
it is. Now, if I'm dressed wrong, I just get the cell phone out, call AAA, call you, call someone and say, hey, come change my tire for me.
Yeah, it's that part is definitely different, no doubt about it. Okay, so let's talk about, we got a really veered in a lot of different directions. I
veered
like that.
off there,
Well, I
yeah.
like that though, because that's the fun of it. You just never know how you're going to head off. Well, I wasn't going to talk about our anniversary, but I just think that 37 years, to me, that's a huge accomplishment in my mind. I think it's a beautiful
Not a lot
thing.
of people make it that long anymore.
And it's not, listen, it's not easy. We've had ups and downs. But there is such a thing as working at it. If you're not willing to work at it and understand that we're both different, we're both going to have different quirks that one bothers the other. It's going to happen. Those things are natural if you haven't ever lived with another person. We never did. We never moved
and
in.
I think a lot of people nowadays just think, well, they think maybe they can do better or whatever, and they just give up on their marriage too easily. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They think they can do younger or better or whatever it is, or,
Well,
and they find out that the next person has baggage too, is what they find out.
there is.
'Cause
Everybody
then
has.
they, go through
Yeah,
the divorce and get
absolutely.
remarried, and they find out, hey, guess what? The next person has baggage too.
Yep.
So
Well, if we're going to get into this, let's just go ahead and, because I was going to talk about lovemaking, but let's do this first. Let's talk about, you're talking about marriage, everything. We watched the show on Netflix called The Ultimatum, and you explained the concept. Remember, how,
well, one of the people in each couple had given the ultimatum to whoever they had been with for 2 years or more: marry me or we're done.
right.
So they threw 6 couples?
There were six couples
together, and they told them they were going to do like an experiment so that they would learn relationship skills, more or less. So they split the 6 couples up, and they all got to meet each other, and then they're supposed to live with someone different than who they've been with for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 3 weeks, they were supposed to live with the person they came with again for 3 weeks to see if they learned any communication skills, any things that are wrong with, their relationship. And it was surprising.
I agree. Very surprising. We've been binge watching that, and I think both of us were surprised by. We didn't get to watch the finales, all of it, but the couple that got married right on the spot, I just didn't think they had a shot in hell. I didn't, because they were.
She was up and then down with him. I thought she was just done with him, and then But then he did say that he went back that night and owned up to his.
It was Colby and
what
was her name? Colby.
Madeline.
And they were just back and forth constantly. I mean, just battle. I'm done, she'd say. And then then it looked like things were getting better. And then he'd say something stupid and boom, I'm done. I'm out of here. It was just, and then to see the finale and she's pregnant and they're happy. And and I guess that's part of understanding, getting to know yourself.
Working through things. I think her main thing was she wanted him to own up to some things, which he would not do on camera. Do you think the camera had anything to do with that, though? That maybe he just didn't want to say, I'm an ass on camera?
No, I don't think so. I think he just didn't think it was his fault that he went
he
looking
blamed her
other,
for
I really
some
do.
of this stuff, and once he owned up to it, then she did marry him.
Yeah, we didn't see that part.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a spinoff, I guess, of Love Is Blind, right? Nick and Vanessa Lachey are the hosts.
Was it?
They say it's kind of a spinoff, but it really isn't because it's an ultimatum. It's you either marry me or I'm out of here.
Yeah, and then the one girl that gave the ultimatum decided she was done with.
Right.
She gave the ultimatum, and she learned so much about herself that she walked away.
Well, she learned a lot because now she's dating a girl. So I mean, it's really changed that whole perception of that one. And it was just and then there were two couples though that
got
didn't
engaged.
go through.
They didn't go through the 2-week or the 3-week processes with two people. As a matter of fact, they were so afraid to lose their loved one that they proposed before they went into an apartment for 3 weeks with someone else. And so there were a couple that were not didn't think they were compatible that were thrown together. And they made the best of it, I think.
Well, but then, the thing of it is the couple we did not think was going to make it married, but the other couples that got engaged were going to get married or still not married.
Yeah, they were still engaged.
After 2 months.
Planning weddings and stuff, yes.
Yeah.
They were still...
And I still think there's an issue with the one couple, and Lauren and...
the one about the kids?
Kids, because he wants... Although he says he's trying to be... And now they're saying one.
She agreed that maybe one, so...
So if you're watching the show and you haven't watched them all, we're kind of just spoiled you.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we just kind of gave it away, but I still think you could watch it and be interested. It was very interesting.
It was very interesting in what they go through. It was a different concept in learning how to live with someone, I think, and learning what marriage is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a totally different way than I would have. I would have ever,
Because there was a hookup. There was a lot of hookups from the other people they met because they got the chance to talk and try and make a connection.
Yeah,
whatever.
and they made connections, and then some of them they were afraid were making connections that were too strong, and they didn't want their partner to have any part of it.
All right, so let's get to this. Making love in the dark is considered more romantic. 64% prefer making love in the dark. See, I don't know. I guess I understand.
I always tell you you're not romantic.
Yeah, but it's in the dark. You kind of. I guess you want to be feeling around, and is that the idea of the dark, or does this go back to women are not comfortable being in with their husband and not wanting them to see them? Is that part of it too? They said 13% admitted they only want to have sex in the dark because they feel insecure. See, based on the survey that was conducted by Mainstay Feminine Care. A similar survey was conducted by Adam and Eve, their sex toy. And they did a survey. And in relation to their favorite sex activities, 1,000 participants aged 18 years, 41% said that they enjoyed having sex in a dark room. 10% stated they were more comfortable having sex in a bright room. So only 10% like it lights on, 41% off. It says here women, 64%. So apparently we're doing it in the dark. I don't really care as long as we can get it on. Does it really matter? Oh boy, she got quiet, didn't she? Dang.
You're lucky if you're getting it at all.
I know.
Especially if your woman's in menopause.
Well, if I have to wait till dark, you're already asleep.
You're asleep too.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, I'm always armed and dangerous. Not really. All right, so that's that. So there, we got that into it. Coming up next, we're going to talk about a bride that tied the knot for $500. We'll talk about that coming up next. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, It's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. All right, welcome back. This is Just Talking Out Loud. Terry and I are just shooting the breeze, as it were. We talked about women being shy in the nude. Men, you're not as good as you think you are. And a whole bunch of other stuff. But now we're going to talk about a bride. And they said frugal, but if you can, there's no in my opinion, this is just my opinion. If you want to have a big wedding, that's up to you. But it just seems to me that having a giant wedding for $10,000, $15,000 just seems crazy.
That's low nowadays.
I know that's low.
It's $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
Well, this bride actually tied the knot for $500. She wore a $47, I think you say Shein dress, Shein, or Shein. I don't know if that's a brand of some sort of a wedding dress.
I would say.
She also hosted the ceremony at a roadside location, and she asked guests to pay for their own meals. That's the part I thought was...
Yeah, I don't know if I could ask the guests to pay for their own meals. Well, if they're not bringing a gift, they could pay for their own meal.
Well, they're on a $500 budget, and this isn't from Los Angeles, of all places.
Oh, my.
Yeah. The bride said her goal was to be as minimal as possible. She bought the $47 dress. She revealed she was given flowers and a cake while guests paid for their own food. Some guests also gifted and paid for some of the flowers. So I don't know. You can't say that it can't be done because she just did it. But I don't know if you, I don't know.
It can be done for a lot cheaper than people do it, but people don't want to do things down to earth like a picnic or like you know what I mean? They want the big venue and but look at some of these venues around here are out on a farm with a tent and all this, and they're still real expensive.
Yeah, I don't know.
You still pay the venue, the caterer, the flowers, the cake, the music. You know, you still pay all those things even though you're out like on a farm. And to me, why not just have a picnic if you're going to do that?
Some people have wedding coordinators too. You got to.
Oh yeah, you pay the coordinator. Too. Yeah,
they're like was that Father of the Bride?
Yeah, you pay the wedding coordinator, and then no one gives the flowers to the people that are carrying them down the aisle. Anyhow.
Well, I like the idea. I mean, of being on a budget. I mean, you could probably still not have the guests pay for their own meals. I don't know exactly what the meal like.
Yeah, I don't think I could go that far.
It doesn't say
I would have to cater parts of it. Now, I could see having like a picnic and asking Grandma to make meatballs and Aunt Sally to make macaroni salad or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see doing that because it would be the people closest to you that would help you with food and then just cater maybe one part. And you may be able to do it pretty cheap, but that would be like a very down to earth type of wedding, like I said, like a picnic or something.
Yeah, I mean, I
then
guess
you could have as many people as you want.
I guess it depends on the caterer too, like how much money I guess they do it by plate, so. And then
yeah, but sometimes you can get like one item like chicken or like roast beef for like a base price.
Right.
Okay, I want to feed 200 people roast beef. How much is it going to be? And that way your main part would be still catered, and you could cater this, and you could bring the sides. Have, like I said, relatives bring the sides.
Depending on the venue, I mean, you really wouldn't have to worry about how many guests if they're paying for their own meal anyway, right?
That's true.
I mean, depending on the venue, how many people are allowed in the venue.
Yeah, but if you've got like 200 people coming, you couldn't just show up at a restaurant.
Yeah, I just think that this brings up, when you have these extravagant weddings that, to me, you want to. I understand it's a big day. That's no doubt. We had a beautiful wedding. I don't think we weren't even close back in I know it's 1985, but we had a caterer. Danny catered it. We had a venue. It was what was it called? I can't think of the name of it. It's across from the school.
I want to say the Moose, but
it's not the Moose. Yeah, it was
VFW.
Well, I don't think it was. I don't know. Anyway, but when that was only a couple $100. Venues are expensive depending on what. But there's a lot of outside venues too. You go to now and do it outside.
Like I said, like we went to one that was a picnic at Mingo.
Yeah.
And it was very nice.
Very
I
nice.
thought it was very nice.
It was a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day. The wedding was kind of outside right there underneath the shelter. And I thought it was and it was a second wedding for her.
Yeah.
So that I thought that was very nice for,
I agree. And I just think that to finish the thought was, when you have, instead of spending 10, 15, 20, 25,000 on the wedding, you can take that money and put it towards a home, and whatever else may come up. But
nowadays, student loans.
Well, that too. But yeah, she made it. She did it. $500 in Los Angeles. So, and she bought a $47 dress. I didn't get to see the dress. I didn't get to see a picture of it, but I should look that up. But she did it, and it can be done.
Mine way back when was $200, I think.
Yeah, in 85. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I don't know how much we spent. I can't think of what we
and you know what?
Spending.
We paid for most of it ourselves over the 6 months, 8 months that we planned it.
Well, my mom and dad paid for the caterer.
They paid. I think they paid for half of it, didn't they? And then I think my parents paid for some of it.
Yeah, we.
And I think we put the down payment.
We did some things.
We did put the down payment on the caterer. I bought my own dress. Yeah. We paid for the hall itself. I mean, anything that we could pay for ahead of time was already all paid for. And the lady that I used to babysit for did the flowers for us, silk flower arrangements for us for cost. I went with her and she picked out and I paid for the things and she put them together for me for free. So that was like part of her wedding gift to me, which really saved us a lot of money.
We had a DJ. Mm-hmm. He was good.
Yeah.
He was really good. And it was, I don't think we spent, again, I could be way off, but I don't think we spent more than $2,000.
Oh no, probably.
There's no way, right? Mm-mm. Of course, food was a lot. I mean, per plate back then wasn't like it is today.
Yeah.
If you can find a plate, and in fact, there's a place that we've been catering at work, and I thought their prices and their food is fantastic, and their prices were really reasonable, like $12, $13, $14 a plate, which is, to me, that's really pretty good.
Yes.
Because most times I hear $20 a plate
or more. Yeah.
So that's why they're getting all the work. They're getting a lot of work from us for their catering. But so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're getting married, you can do it. I mean, you might have to ask your guests to pay for their own meal, but hey, or just get pizza. What makes a difference? Who cares?
Yeah, I've heard of someone saying the pizza and...
Yeah, why not? Who cares? It's your day. You do how you want to do it. Spend it with people.
Something most everyone likes, they can...
I mean, I'd like to, we talked to our son and we'd like him to get married, and I know he'd like to have a nice ceremony. Nathan and Alexis got married in Nags Head, and it was beautiful. We could have just done that, and that was perfect.
Oh, we had some money into that then.
Yeah, but it was a nice place. We had people come down that we didn't know was coming down.
Oh, yeah. They were going to have a
great.
25 people wedding and ended up 60. I don't know how many.
How many showed up.
Yeah.
It was great. The weather turned out beautiful. But you can do things on a budget. You don't have to, because if you love each other, it doesn't matter. So I don't know what he's doing. The dog is here and he's staring at something. He's like frozen solid. There he goes. Unless somebody's here. I don't know what he's doing. The dog, he's always here. You might hear Rigby as we go.
This is the first time this week he's been here.
Yeah, he's always here.
So he's not always here.
He's always in your heart. Let's be honest. He's always here. I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's getting ready to bark. Are you going to bark in the middle of this? Because you've been really good.
We're almost
to the end. So there you go. If you want to be frugal, $500, maybe $1,000, you can have a nice wedding. If you're worried about having COVID, you can just cough at your phone. Apparently, scientists, from what I've read, they developed this app that can detect whether you've been infected with 92% accuracy. The app is called ResApp, and you just cough in your phone, which, I mean, it's bad enough the phone is just full of
germs.
You're touching it constantly.
And then if it says, yes, you have it, then you've got COVID germs all over your phone.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You'd have to cough in it and then clean it. But at least I guess you wouldn't have to buy, I don't know, the app, it doesn't say the app costs anything.
Well, now I have kids coming in late from school and they want to be medically excused, so they take the COVID test, and when it shows negative, they bring me the COVID test so that I mark it as an O, other excused absence, rather than a parent note, because they're only allowed to miss 10 days. And then after 10 days, then, so they've all missed more than 10 days this year. So now they're getting these letters and they don't want them. So they take a COVID test so that I will mark.
Well, they might be able to do it on their phone and just show you the phone then. It's ResApp.
Yeah.
Might work better for them. They said Pfizer might buy them for $74.3 million. So
well, I
wish I could come up with an app.
I woke up with a sore throat, so I coughed into my phone and waited for it to tell me before I came to
92%. I mean, if that's accurate, then I guess. So look for ResApp if you're looking to. I don't know if it's out or not. It just says it says it is, because it says Pfizer's offered to acquire it. But I wish I could think of an app.
They'll acquire it because it's money in their pocket. They made you know how much money they've made off of this COVID stuff?
Big time money.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there you go. You just cough in your phone. You'll know if you have. ResApp is the app if you want to check it out. I have not checked it out yet because I just haven't. And finally, we're going to do 4 things you didn't know yesterday. So it's time to wise up, and here it is. Osama bin Laden liked watching the classic TV show Bonanza. I found that funny.
Yeah.
The guy that was like the worst terrorist ever.
And he liked Bonanza.
And he liked watching Bonanza. Little Joe. Was that Little Bonanza? Was that Bonanza?
I think so.
Each American tosses 7.1 pounds of trash a day. By comparison, the average Japanese generates 2.5 pounds. I believe it. There's a lot of food being thrown away in trash. I believe that big time. Since 1972, marriage rates in the U.S. have fallen by almost 50%.
Oh, I believe that. No one, you don't have to get married now. You just shack up and have a family.
And they're currently at the lowest point in recorded history. So people are not getting married since 1970. That's 50%. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And finally, from May through October, roughly 310 million lightning strikes will hit the earth. So there's some things that you might not have known yesterday you can take with you to work and pretend like you're smart. Well, you are smart. We're all smart. So there you go. There's some things you might not have known. So today's show has been, boy, it's gone really fast. We talked about being naked in front of each other. I'm not good in bed. What we're sleeping in, clothes, used to be clothes. Now we're getting naked. They're like doing it in the dark. Talked about our anniversary, our first date, which I'm still not sure if that was considered a date or not. Still falling on that one.
There was a kiss involved, wasn't there?
There was a kiss involved.
That's a date then.
And I believe there was tongue involved.
You would remember that.
Oh, I remember, because that's, I do remember. I think, and as a matter of fact, I'll just be honest. If we're going to be honest, I'll be honest. You really, I had girlfriends, but I wasn't really, I wasn't a player, So you really were the first one to, kind of teach me how to. You're like a professor with that tongue. We better leave it. You know what? Better stop while this might turn really, really bad. Turn the lights out. Turn the lights out. No, got to be dark. If you want to be a frugal bride, you can do it for $500. It's proven here. Your guests just have to pay for food. You cough in your phone, and you'll find out if you have COVID. It's called ResApp. I wish it was I wish I could say that was a sponsor. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Have them as a sponsor. I could use a sponsor or two to help pay for this stuff. So I guess that's it. I guess we've, it's amazing how fast, I fret about these podcasts because I want to make it interesting. And I think we did. And you know what? Let me say this because I'll see if you really agree with me. I thought today was a nice day because we were kind of communicating. I think that plays into it too, don't you?
Yeah, more because I didn't know what you had planned, and then I could put my 2 cents in.
Well, but what I'm saying is sometimes though, even before all this, right? Even before, like I think there's a feeling you get like, oh, this would be good because we're communicating really well, and we're not in a bad mood. Because I was thinking about doing yesterday, you weren't really feeling it. You kind of had a bad day. I was fretting over this, like how I want to structure, and it's not really structured. It's not structured the way most podcasters do, but we're having fun, and who knows, maybe this thing will, people are having fun listening as they're doing whatever they're doing. But thank you for listening. And if you'd like to know more, you can check out our Facebook page, our Twitter page, Just Talking Out Loud. We're on, and don't forget to subscribe because in that way you'll get all the brand new episodes that come out every Monday. And we're into our 15th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're 15 in, and that's pretty good. But it's been tough for me to find spot, and I'm worried that summer's coming, and
hopefully this summer
we can do it at the
some
pool?
of the kids can.
I know
the only thing is the noise down there.
No, I think we can make it work.
I hope so.
Even with the noise.
I hope so, because we can get our kids, because our kids are sometimes hilarious.
Oh yeah, we got to get
Nathan
Zach back on.
Nathan can be hilarious, and Zach,
Nathan,
and his stories, and
it's been tough. Everybody's just
too busy.
Busy. And Zach is coaching baseball, and RJ's watching a baby,
and Nathan's cooking.
So anyway, check that all out. Don't forget to subscribe. We're hoping that at some point, from what I understand, that maybe Apple's going to come up with this thing where we can communicate more. You can actually leave a message, and it's like YouTube does. YouTube does all these comments. That would be really nice because it would kind of help us kind of ask questions, and maybe the next one we could, answer those questions or whatever. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. That's it for me, and that's it for Terry. So we will see you soon.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.